We will now consider log number 5176R1 by Mr. Sorensen of Illinois. For what purposes, gentleman from Illinois, seek recognition?
Mr. Chairman, I have an amendment at the desk.
Will the clerk please distribute the amendment? Without objection, the reading of the amendment is dispensed with. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Illinois for the purposes of explaining his amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This amendment would solidify the existing exemptions to OPM's hiring freeze on the Department of Defense. But like so much in this bill, let's talk about why this is so important. In February, the administration put a hiring freeze into effect for the Department of Defense, even as the world becomes more dangerous. Now, a month later, a memo came out that listed different jobs that can be exempted from the hiring freeze. Now, this is important because we must remain ready for everything. And my amendment would codify this list for 2026. The list includes educators, child care workers, technicians, firefighters, and medical staff on our bases. These jobs are essential. They're also my neighbors who work at the Rock Island Arsenal in the Quad Cities. At the Arsenal, we're 3D printing, we're casting metal at our foundry, we're developing new technology, you name it, we're probably already doing it. Now, these are just two pieces of a drone that are manufactured by workers at the Joint Manufacturing and Technology Center at Rock Island. But these parts are being made using new state-of-the-art technology never used before, developing components that are necessary for American success on the battlefield of the future. This is non-controversial stuff. This amendment also allows the workers supplying medium to large caliber ammunition at the Iowa Army Ammunition Plant in Burlington, Iowa. It helps workers keep their fighter jets ready for the next mission in Ogden in Utah. It helps workers at Tobiana Army Depot near Scranton, Pennsylvania, because they're going to put the inner workings and sensors into the drones that we manufacture at Rock Island. If we want readiness, we must make sure that our organic industrial bases have the ability to make their own hiring decisions. My amendment does nothing more than codify the administration's existing exemptions to the hiring freeze. It is essential to readiness and ultimately our military safety. I urge all of my colleagues to support this common sense amendment, and I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Chair now recognizes himself. Although I am in agreement with Mr. Sorensen and the Secretary of Defense that these positions are vital to national security and should be exempt from the hiring freeze, there is absolutely no reason to put what is already policy into statute. This amendment unnecessarily restricts the President and SecDef from managing the personnel in DoD. I oppose all amendments that codify hiring exemptions as unnecessary limitations on the President and the Secretary of Defense's authority to dynamically manage their workforce. Chair now recognizes the gentlelady from Pennsylvania, Ms. Houlahan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I also very much support this number 5176, because anyone who is in the military or who has been in the military knows how essential that our civilian counterparts are to the successful execution of our mission. The Trump administration slashed the federal workforce very chaotically, eliminating thousands of roles that are essential to the military operations, as well as remote work options for military spouses. And that doesn't make our military or our country safer or stronger or more prosperous. And the most recent reductions in force in the State Department and the rescission process are prime examples of that. Expelling thousands of experts and cutting millions of dollars of essential programs is disastrous for our national security, but the administration continues to do just this. Our military does not exist in a vacuum. It needs civilian support, and the administration's actions across the federal government will undoubtedly impact our military readiness. It is for that reason that I support this amendment. Thank you, and I yield back.
Gentlelady yields back. Chair now recognizes the gentleman from Virginia, Mr. McGuire.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We are in agreement. I oppose this amendment from the gentleman from Illinois. I recognize that these positions are vital and should be exempt from a hiring freeze. However, there is no reason to put what is already policy into statute. This amendment unnecessarily restricts the President and Secretary of Defense from managing personnel in their agency. If we were to sufficiently crew our ships in the future, this would prevent the Secretary of Defense from properly managing his force because Congress made a blanket rule restricting his authority. Any amendment that codifies hiring exemptions unnecessarily limits the President and Secretary of Defense's authority to manage their workforce effectively. So I urge my colleagues to vote no. And with that, I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Chair and I recognize the gentlelady from New Jersey, Ms. Sherrill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I speak today in strong support for my colleague's amendment that enshrines certain protections for our DoD civilians into law, which I think is completely necessary given the work of this committee to try to manage and mitigate the complete incompetence coming from the Secretary of Defense in this administration when it comes to DoD-related matters. The Trump administration's slash to the civil service is not just an attack on government workers, it's a direct threat to our national security and to the economic stability of communities like mine in New Jersey. At Picatinny Arsenal, we have engineers, science, and support staff who are building the future of our national defense, developing the weapon systems our service members rely on to stay safe and to succeed. Picatinny is a vital hub for U.S. military innovation, especially in advanced munitions and armaments that keep our troops safe and mission ready. Cutting civil service roles here directly weakens our military's ability to develop, test, and deliver cutting-edge weaponry. Many of our civil servants have had years of specialized training in metallurgy, physics, and chemistry, some of it at the postgrad level at the Picatinny Armament School that I'm working to get accredited and which has graduated 41 master's degree recipients and 2 PhDs. So in delivering these cuts, we will harm and weaken our military's ability to develop, test, and deliver cutting-edge weaponry, not just today, but for years to come. Slashing civil service positions risks shifting critical expertise to private contractors, driving up costs, and reducing institutional knowledge within the government. Maintaining a robust civil service at Picatinny ensures that the U.S. retains strategic control over weapons development and innovation. Cutting civil service jobs at Picatinny is not just an attack on New Jersey workers, it's an attack on our national security. And as someone who has served her country, I know we need to strengthen, not weaken, our defense capabilities. I'll fight to protect every job and every innovation effort at Picatinny because America's security depends on it. Thank you, and I yield back.
Gentlelady yields back. Does any other member seek to speak on Mr. Sorensen's amendment? There is no further debate. The question occurs on the amendment by Mr. Sorensen. So many as are in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. No. Opinion of the chair, the noes have it.
Mr. Chairman, I ask for the yeas and nays.
The recorded vote's requested. The recorded vote is postponed.